Hello and welcome at the Ars Electronica Center in our deep space. Usually the place where we present wonderful artworks, wonderful scientific visualizations, but also every time the space where we start to announce our activities. And today it's about the Ars Electronica Festival. A few days are left and we will start with Ars Electronica 24. With the theme Hope, Who Will Turn the Tide. It's only 45 years since for the first time the Festival for Art, Technology and Society took place here in the city of Linz. And how has the world changed since then? For quite some time we were most amazed about how our technology got smaller, more ubiquitous, more powerful, even somehow intelligent. But I think in the recent years we are mainly concerned about how the world itself has changed, how we have changed the world and how we find ourselves in circumstances, again, that 45 years ago nobody would have dared to think about. So more than enough reason to really look deep into the fabric of our world, into the fabric of our times, in the way how we shape society and we shape future. And this is the very topic of Ars Electronica Festival since its beginning in 1979. A very important part of Ars Electronica always has been and still is integration in the city, integration with the city, working with the city, going to many different places to really reach out for the people, not only to be a magnet for international communities and crowds, but really be a driving factor also for the development of the city. And so I think instead of long explanations about how to interpret the theme, I think hope is a pretty clear message that we are sending. Let's have a look at the locations of this year's festival, because they show, I think, in a very strong way this integration that I talked about. That Ars Electronica is not just a think tank for future developments, but really a laboratory for the development of our society. And this will be, in particular, very much the focus of this festival. All these people, initiatives from literally all over the world, who have already begun to do things differently in many areas that we are going to show. And the places, of course, are the major places here in the city of Linz. We have, again, as the core of the festival, the Post City. This is this wonderful area, this vast space, 80,000 square meters, the formal distribution center of the Austrian Postal Services, where most of the program will take place. But the festival also extends, as I said, into the city. There will be universities involved, the big cathedral of the city of Linz is involved, and we are also very proud that many of the smaller artist-run initiatives, but also some initiatives run by the city Linz itself, are part of the festival. I think this shows again this kind of integration and Ars Electronica being a platform, and I think we can proudly say it is the largest platform for culture and art from the digital age, from the digital realm worldwide. We start officially our program on Wednesday, the 4th, but since many years we have this wonderful tradition of making a pre-opening walk. 6 openings are taking place all over the city of Linz, and this pre-opening walk has been specifically started also to give the local initiatives and the local people a little bit a head start before all the crowds come. And as you know, probably from recent festivals, many places are quite overcrowded with audiences. And the opening walk is also a good opportunity to introduce some of the major partners. We will have this year, for the first time, also this area of the Medical University in Linz as a big place where we especially look at the art and science collaborations. As I said, we have the big dome as a part of it. We have the Lentos, the art museum. We have the art university right at the main square of the city of Linz. We have smaller institutions. We have the Ars Electronica Center and the area around it. And the opening walk is really a great opportunity, not only for local meanwhiles. Many people come a day earlier already to participate in this very nice tour about the major exhibition areas. A very important part of the festival, We will look at the exhibitions, at the conferences and the workshops and all the gatherings a little bit later with presentations of our team. But a very important part, of course, are the concerts and the events. The major event, of course, in every Ars Electronica festival is the award ceremony of the Pre-Ars Electronica. Pre-Ars Electronica itself has become a very large platform also for many awards, for example, STARTS Award, European Citizen Science Award. And this evening, this year, in the Design Center in Linz, a very iconic architecture from the 1990s here in the city of Linz, we will hold the award ceremony, and I can only recommend to be there because it's really the moment where you can celebrate together with us these achievements of the artists. The big concert night of Ars Electronica this year will mainly be staged in the wonderful train hall of the Post City. If you ever have been at Ars Electronica in the Post City, you will remember it's this really spectacular, huge space with surprisingly really a very wonderful and great and interesting acoustics as well. And this year the major act for the big concert night is the Cello Octet Amsterdam, who are performing a new project they developed together with a robotic artist, with visual artists. They commissioned new compositions for this very special concert, Cocoon, and it will be a very spectacular show, which I think really fits perfect into this industrial atmosphere of the train hall in the Post City. The nightline is the, for, as I would say, the young people who come to Ars Electronica. It's very much a music scene that is built up on many really great acts from electronic music. It goes a little bit into clubbing as much as a festival like ours even can perform something like this. And I think it's also really a wonderful issue again to see that there is a completely new culture. I mean, this type of music that we will feature in the nightline is music that was initiated, created, developed, emerging out of this digital development of this revolution in this last 45 years that Ars Electronica also was covering and spanning. There will be also a wonderful piano concert on Saturday. This is Piano Graphique, a series of concerts that are very typical for Ars Electronica. So we have music that comes from the history, from the past, played by real musicians on real instruments, accompanied by digital visualizations that utilize artificial intelligence system, generative algorithms to really make a kind of fusion, melting art in form of music, sound, and visual experiences into one. This will be again with these two famous and wonderful pianists, Maki Namikawa and Dennis Russell Davies. And this year, Piano Graphique will feature Bedřich Smetana. 200 years ago, Smetana was born in a completely different time, of course, in an area where these two countries, Czechia and Austria, had a very strong cultural coherence. And so this concert will not only feature the very special and delicate four-handed piano version of the famous Ma Vlast, My Homeland from Bedřich Smetana, but also integrate texts by Adalbert Stifter, the Upper Austrian writer, who also made very wonderful art stories, novels featuring the area, this countryside, and the culture of this time. Sonic Saturday at the Anton Bruckner Privatuniversität, the music university here in city of Linz, is a very special program as well. We are very happy that the Anton Bruckner University since many years is a very strong partner of our festival, really diving very deep into what some people might refer to as the academic scene of digital music, of computer music. There is a lot of interesting experiments utilizing artificial intelligence, not in a simple, stupid way to imitate music, but to really create something new. And this is the moment in this Ars Electronica week where I can really dive in very deep into the very recent contemporary developments in music creation and music production. Also very deep into contemporary development, into research, in this combination of art and science. Of course, we can go with the Futurelab Night in Deep Space. This location, this wonderful technology, full with presentations of people who work in the Ars Electronica Futurelab, who showcase their own ideas and productions, but also showcase results of very interesting collaborations they are doing with research centers, with industry, and with other partners. So it's definitely a must, and if you want to see it, please make sure you get your ticket very early, because the space is quite limited here. Last event and concert for me to announce, and you see just, with this number of major events and concerts, that Ars Electronica really is also a very big music festival. So it's not just exhibitions, conferences about this digital transformation, but it's really music spanning 200 years of musical development in this year's program. And so the last concert on Sunday afternoon again will make this big journey. It will start in contrast and combination also with the Saturday piano concert, where you can hear the four-handed version of Ma Flast. Now on Sunday, Dennis Russell Davies with his Philharmonic Orchestra from Brno in Czechia will start with orchestra version of Ma Flast, the second part of it. So we jump again back into the history of music, and then the second part will be the Mishima piano concert, a concerto for piano and orchestra, pretty fresh, one of the latest outcomes of Philip Glass and his compositions, arranged by Michael Riesman, in particular for Makina Mekava to be performed with orchestra. You see, it's quite a lot. I think we all are still digesting how many things are going on. But I can assure you the next part will be even larger, because now Christl Baur, the head of the festival, is explaining you about the exhibitions. Please.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm going to continue this colorful circle of programs with the exhibition program. I'm today talking about 9 exhibition formats, but there, of course, are many more. We are starting on the other side of the Danube in the building that is called the Lentos Art Museum. Here, an exhibition is staged that probably most of the artists would once in their lifetime like to participate. It is the exhibition of the Prix Ars Electronica winners. When entering the building, you will be greeted by the sound of B.T. Wolf's Smoke and Mirrors that is echoing through the exhibition space. And in her animation, which was developed for COP26, she shows the misinformation of large oil companies alongside the data of methane emission. In the basement, you can try to convince a coffee machine powered by an AI system of whether it will provide you a coffee. But you really have to be nice to the machine, showing of whether you're a good or a bad person. In total, we present 13 winning works in the Prix exhibition, including the winner of the new AI in Art Award. This award went this year to Paul Trillo for his groundbreaking work, a music video that was generated in long prompting session with the OpenAI Sora, a text-to-video model. We've heard already about this year's new venue, the JKU Med Campus. A big thank you goes out to the JKU and the Med Campus team for hosting us, but also for supporting us in the preparations. And also for allowing us to land a spaceship there. The spaceship from Hope welcomes the visitors from Slovenia, actually, prepared by a partner organization, PINA. The focus of all the exhibitions on the JKU Med Campus is on art and science. And a good example is the work called The Box by Fiona Smith, which was developed during a research stay at Fraunhofer Mewis and deals with the use of AI in healthcare. An entire exhibition is dedicated to the subject of VR and XR, virtual reality and extended reality, namely applied virtualities, extended reality in practice. and focuses on the possibility that XR and VR has in various applications. One of the projects presented there is Alison's Room by the artist Paula Strunden. It takes us on a journey through the archive of Alison Smithson, based on the architect's reconstructed workplace. Equipped with extended reality glasses, you can move through the room, touch objects, and via this access the knowledge of the archive. But there is also a performance like Alpha Loop that actually allows you to experience it yourself. It is live monitored and you walk outside through the whole campus while experiencing a new world at different level. Thanks to the great collaboration with the JKU, we can once again present projects developed in the frame of the Linz Institute of Technology that combines current research of the awarded institutes with artistic practices. A total of 10 art and science projects are presented in this frame. One is part of already the Ars Electronica opening taking place on the square in front of the main cathedral. The scientists of the project Bruckner will perform a quantum concert together with the organists of the Mariendom. A project that you can experience at the Med campus actually takes its inspiration from Harry Potter and the Speaking Hat. Hack the Hat deals with difficulties of AI-supported selection processes in personal recruitment. Here you can try out how age, gender, or experience influence the AI's decision. And it's very important to mention that all of the program on Med Campus is accessible for free. So don't miss that part of the festival. The campus program, however, is definitely not something new. It started already in 2002, always in collaboration with the University of Arts Linz. This year, 42 international universities will present the project of their students, the most recent projects of their students in this program. It spreads this year across 3 different locations, namely the Post City, the Salzamt, but of course also the Art University. And here we are present in both buildings of the Art University. The featured university presented this year in Splace is the Moholy-Nagy University from Budapest. And in addition, we are extremely proud to announce that 18, and I mean 18 departments of the Art University are actively participating this year in the festival. There is a new addition, however, in order to support the visibility and honor the campus artist. We are awarding this year one project that will be selected by an independent jury with the Ars Electronica Campus Award. The award ceremony is happening on Saturday of the festival in Post City at 5:30. So come there to meet the artists. Well, today it's not that hot, but probably if it's 30 degrees during the festival, you'll be delving down into the basement, into the bunker of the Post City, into the cool rooms there. Once again, it is the location for the theme exhibition under the title Hope, the Touch of Many. Hope is neither the belief that everything is, was, or will be good, nor a substitute for action. It is rather the base for action. In keeping it with the festival theme, the focus this year will be on artists, on hope bearers, and we will highlight some of those ones, individual as well as collective, through the so-called artist spotlights. One example is the Time's Up collective, artists that are based in Linz and that are actually the starting point. They ask the visitors a rather provocative question in the beginning. How do you dare to maintain hopeful visions in times like these? Another artist spotlight is Antigua Brain, and she takes the perspective that there is already enough artistic projects that deal with the losses caused by the climate crisis. With her practice that she titles With Eccentric Engineering, she wants to redesign systems and deal with those that are responsible for our manifold crisis. The theme exhibition is presented under the program of the European Digital Deal and includes projects that have been newly commissioned in cooperation with partners such as Pro Helvetia as well as SIFO. The STARTS exhibition is headed actually by the newly created Platform Europe. For many years, digital humanism was the guiding principle behind our European commitment. But global developments, whether ecological, technological, or sociopolitical, have made it clear that there is only one truly effective path to positive change: collaboration. The platform has evolved, recognizable by its new name, the Ars Electronica Platform Europe. And it has become a forum for exchange and collaboration with the unchanged aim to rethink how technology-driven systems change through art, change our society through art. Within the Platform Europe, the STARTS exhibition explores the role of art in the interplay with science and technology to develop creative solutions, especially for the current challenges, but also visions for the future. The exhibition starts with Calculating Empires, a really large-scale map by Kate Crawford and Vladan Jola. This work is not just a map. It is a map of our technological present, mapping a history spanning 5 centuries, but really encourages us to rethink our relationship to the social, political, and technological systems of our present. By asking how we ended up here where we are, it also provokes us to think about our next steps. Looking forward often requires also looking into the past, as the Congolese initiative Balo NFT brings us closer to. The winning project of the STARTS for Africa Award presents a radical model to bring about the restitution of both the stolen treasures and formerly occupied land. This year, the STARTS exhibition runs through the whole Small Slides Hall in Post City. If you're standing in front of the info desk on the right side, the whole area that you see there is under the title of the STARTS exhibition. And it shows how creative visions can lead to innovative application and industry applications. For the third time, the STARTS Award, the State in the Artist Award, presents its winning projects in the festival. This initiative is aimed at artists who work under considerable threat to their life and body, and is a cooperation with the Austrian Foreign Ministry. One of the projects is the Queer Muslim Project, a leading digital platform for queer, Muslim, and diverse voices in Asia. The project represents over 70,000 people, and several projects by individual artists from that platform and community will be shown in Linz. And also I need to note that on Thursday of the festival, there will be a panel with the winning artist of the State of the Artist, and take the chance to meet them and to discuss their work, but of course also the difficult circumstances in which they are created. And the Ars Electronica features. This is a familiar format that has, it's a new but yet familiar format that has evolved from the Ars Electronica Gardens. In the exhibition, the focus is on international partner institutions that come to Linz with carefully curated programs and illuminate the global perspectives of the hope bearers in their programs. Because exactly of this global community, creative collaborations, we can inspire you to create hope and change. The partner institutions include Baltin Laboratories for the Netherlands, Rex Lab from Innsbruck, the Ecocentric Futurelab with projects by Jabao Lee, and the Kapelica Gallery from Ljubljana. And we are delighted that the ITU is once again making a significant contribution to this year's Ars Electronica Festival, namely 5 outstanding projects. This collaboration started already in 2023 with the Founding Lab, followed by a fall and a spring term. And the final project addressed a wide range of social issues, from virtual reality experiences for people with disabilities to health monitoring with machine learning. One project, actually a performance, reassembling bowls of care, challenges the definition of care as an exploited resource and an emergence of a new market for robotic care. And now I'd like to introduce my dear colleague, Veronika Liebl, the Managing Director of the festival, who will give us an insight into the discursive programs.
Thank you so much, Christl. Yes, I will continue actually with similar dance programs, but in the area of conferences at Ars Electronica this year. And I'm picking up exactly where we left, also at the ITU Founding Lab. This year again, on the Wednesday of the festival, we'll have a conference, a kick off the whole conference program with the ITU Founding Lab Day, completely focused actually on the transformative role of artificial intelligence, in particular in higher education. Joanna Bryson, Professor of Ethics and Technology at the Hertie School, will kick off with a keynote, and then experts from various disciplines and also various universities really worldwide give insights into their current practices, into curricula, innovative curricula in the field of interdisciplinary and practice-based learning. After focusing on artificial intelligence already on the Wednesday, we'll continue with that exact topic also on the Thursday of the festival, and transformation, digital transformation at large. On September 5th, on the Thursday of the festival, we traditionally kick off with the theme symposium, and this year will actually start, of course, true to the topic of the festival, with hopeful projects and protagonists. We've actually invited this year companies, initiatives, projects from all across the different disciplines. Let it be large-scale initiatives from the industry or smaller grassroots initiatives, also those really focusing on the private sector and those predominantly actually serving the common good. But all of these have one thing in common: they are really trying to showcase new different approaches and also different kinds of uses of technologies on how we can drive the necessary digital, environmental and social change. To kick off the theme symposium, we're starting with the Starts Day conference under the title of Reclaim, Relearn, Resist, and moderated this year by Friederike Kaltheuner, shedding light on technological progress. The conference will be kicked off by Paul Nemitz, who is Principal Advisor of Digital Transformation at the European Commission, and he will talk about the urgent need to prioritize democracy really over technological progress and business models. Nemitz played actually a key role in the development of the General Data Protection Regulation and the Whistleblower Directive of the European Commission, and shows also in his work how the European Union is trying actually to curb the power of technology through regulations like the AI Act. He will make it quite clear that while technology creates, of course, tools, it cannot replace the language for its invention, neither actually the human imagination. And this imagination, which is so essential in particular for progress, for freedom and justice. Francesca Bria, advisor also to the European Commission and digital expert, Christoph Knogler, CEO of KEBA, and Gillian York, the director of the Electronic Frontier Foundation, will then discuss what is actually needed to create these kind of digital ecosystems which are more democratic, which are also socially just and user-friendly. The discussion will then actually bridge to really concrete examples, applied examples on how digital technologies can be used to initiate systemic change. Peter Niederländer from the Austrian National Bank talks about the digital euro. Agnes Eistleitner about digital fintech investments in Africa, and the founder of Revela.gov talks about how to fight corruption through an AI-powered platform. We will focus also on a couple of examples on how digital technologies change the systems in education, bringing protagonists on the stage, showcasing also online learning examples, edutech examples, and of course, those who are really promoting digital skills. As an absolute highlight of that first symposium day, world-renowned AI author and scientist Kate Crawford, with her long-term collaborator Vlad Ranjola, will actually give insights in the already mentioned starts-winning work Calculating Empires, and shed light on the century-long history of technology and power, and also what we can learn from this in the field of artificial intelligence. Finally, we have invited for that day a couple of experts who are claiming to do that already, to invite or invent future-proof AI products, researches and initiatives, and will present projects both here from the region as well as international examples. The second day of the symposium is entitled Going Green and will highlight projects by companies, by startups, by initiatives from arts and politics, trying to actually counteract the rather dystopian outlook for our planet and how technologies can be really used actively to contribute also to environmental transformation. We'll discuss plans like net zero by 2050, of course the European Green Deal, also initiatives in the field of the transition to renewable energies, the reduction of costs of decarbonization, the change towards eco-cities, green and mobility or sustainable friendly mobility systems in cities, and also legal measures to protect our nature. The speakers, for example, kicking off the topic on ecosystems include urban planner Neda Kostadinovic, who is part of the urban strategy team implementing the really ambitious climate action plan of the city of Barcelona, and Katja Schechner, who is an urban scientist advising global governments on the futures of cities. In the following panels then, we will showcase innovative approaches also to sustainable technologies, those who are specifically tailored at local needs, also addressing the local conditions. For example, from hydropower plants adapting to the natural flow of water, so protecting also the nature, over revolutionary solar-powered refrigerator, not so dependent on the electricity grid, to a sandoponic garden system that successfully grows vegetables in the desert sand in a refugee camp. We will also bring a couple of examples from the field of energy transition. One, for example, from a German company developing solar kits to retrofit diesel vehicles, and bring also a star from the region here, the Linz Hydrogen Initiative for the production of green steel. In the keynote speech, the German actress Feline Rogen will then actually address how we can create this systematic and sustainable change within our own sector, within culture, arts and media, all based on her specific initiatives for green filming and sustainable film production. The final panel of that second symposium day will present various initiatives that are raising climate awareness in different ways, from the international law firm Client Earth, who actually encourages companies to be environmental conscious through really legal framework development. Then also Nika Winner, Beat the Wolf, drawing our attention to the lobby and advertisement of the big oil industry. And game designer Konstantin Vitkuc, who is actually addressing climate change through the popular lens of games. The third and the final day of the three-day theme symposium will be dedicated to the use of AI and artistic creation. But before we actually delve on that day into the practices of artists and researchers, Anil Seth will dive into the question where creativity starts and whether AI can be creative at all. The professor of computational neuroscience writes in his books about the role of biology in shaping our ability to create and innovate. Then artists, also including our own AI in Art Award winners and Starts Prize winners, will actually present insights into their artistic practices, also the latest use of tools they're using in the field of generative AI. Tamiko Thiel, Thor Magnussen, Felipe Sanchez Luna, and Brigitte Muttendorf will then discuss whether AI will actually start a whole new area of collaborative practices and what collaboration really means in this context, whether for the individual freelance artist or as a tool for collectives to use it together, or as such to enhance also participation with audiences. The second part of the day is then dedicated to the question of what exactly this needs to become reality, and a reality which is also one in the interest of artists. Platforms that are accessible for artists, also legal frameworks that enable artists to exploit the results, of course monetarization and business models for artists, and also support from the side of cultural organizations and educational systems. Well, if that theme symposium and the other conferences I have presented are still not enough food for thought, then you can switch also to the lecture stage in Post City. For example, on Wednesday at the symposium Perspectives on Political Education, in collaboration with the Upper Austrian Chamber of Labor and the Upper Austrian University of Education, or you can dive into our already traditional Get Inspired format this year, completely dedicated to the field of artificial intelligence and educational formats. We have brought a variety of formats, also from the region here, but international examples on different kinds of practices, skill-building practices for the youngest up to the age of higher education and employees in companies. On the Friday afternoon in the festival, experts will talk about digital archives, our own big relaunch project of the Ars Electronica archive, and areas in which digitization can sustainably strengthen cultural organizations. Well, you will have to decide anyways. There is another conference highlight waiting for you. It is the Expanded Animation Symposium, yet another 3-day conference highlight here in the Ars Electronica Center in the 3rd floor in the Sky Loft. The traditional and 12th edition of Expanded focuses on the contribution in the field of expanded animation and interactive art, with contributions from the academic as well as artistic sector, featuring animated filmmaker Irene Robina, indie game studio Slow Bros, and Paul Clark from the collective Uninvited Guests. Also joining Ars Electronica award winners Paul Drillo, Rachel McLean, and Nicolas Garot. In the Art and Industry panel, Oscar winner and animation director Jan Pinkava will talk about the future of interactive storytelling, and Bonnie Mitchell will talk about Time Tunnel, 50 years of SIGGRAPH history. Part of every animation program at Ars Electronica is, of course, also the yearly animation festival. This year, with the premiere actually at the venue of the MedSpace, a fascinating environment at the JKO Med campus. We have prepared several exciting programs, as always the best of, but also some of the curated programs along the festival topic Hope, also one on AI and human, and a feature on Austrian Panorama, showing really the diversity of the animations submitted this year, also the diversities of different storytellings, of different innovations and technologies used, and very much actually also about the different approaches towards commitment to social change and new political visions. From the 900 submissions this year, the program or the curator selected about 40 different kinds of animations from the field of AI-generated images, cinematic deepfakes, documentary storytelling, scientific and data visualization, real-time graphics, or CGI powered by game engines. The selection is then also complemented by a couple of partner projects and partner screenings, including SIGGRAPH, ICEA, and the Runway AI Film Festival. That brings us already to the Ars Electronica Specials. The Ars Electronica Specials are those programs curated for specific target groups, or simply the absolute stars of every Ars Electronica. First and foremost, of course, the annual festival program here in Deep Space 8K. We're bringing back the performance What is Remaining by Tanz Linz and the Department of Time-Based and Interactive Media at the University of Art and Design, a spectacular combination of contemporary dance, of interactive and digital arts and visualizations, will be presented this year twice during the festival, on the Wednesday and the Friday of the festival. Of course, high resolution and spectacular imagery is a must here in deep space. The program includes this year visualization on Earth observation data, insights into the deep sea, and AI-generated imagery inspired by European masters. And of course, the all-time highlights of deep space. Those have actually long included already the treasures of cultural heritage, digitized and prepared here for the deep space, which was reason enough for us this year to really create a specific, dedicated digital cultural focus within the deep space under the project lead of Michaela Wimplinger this year. Thanks to the collaboration with Iconem Paris, supported by the Institut Français d'Autriche, visitors will actually be able to experience a huge 3D model of Notre Dame, which caught fire in 2019. The model is based on scans by an art historian and were prepared by our dear colleagues from the Ars Electronica Futurelab team. The collaboration with the Museo Nacional Thyssen-Bornemisza Madrid, supported by the Spanish Embassy in Vienna, focuses on the early Renaissance and gigapixel images of Vittorio Carpaccio's painting Young Knight in a Landscape. Together with the Kaiserschild Foundation, will actually bring paintings from the Dutch master and famous still life painter Peter Kleesch here to the deep space. Actually, this program is part of their initiative called Kaiserschild Art Defined, making their collection also accessible to the broader public. And this is exactly what the famous Fondazione Giorgio Cini did. They made their archive accessible, including also to former Nika winner, Universal Everything. The spectacular result is really an impressive animated figure composed by the elements of the monumental architectural highlights of Venice and also the art treasures of Venice, also on display here in the deep space on Sunday morning. Our colleagues from Ars Electronica Solutions have prepared both contents for the Deep Space 8K as well as the exhibitions in Post City. And for this, I would ask Michael Mondria, the Managing Director of Ars Electronica Solutions, to give us some insights.
Thank you very much. So in short, we invite you to explore the way how Ars Electronica Solutions is working and thinking with own installations and prototypes together with partners in an own exhibition on the first floor on the Post City. So, for instance, you can immersify yourself in an own VR, space view VR, where you can take the perspective of a satellite and look at Earth, or you can generate an own digital twin with AI-generated individualized images, or you can discuss with us at the mini deep space and replica, a fully functionable replica of this wonderful deep space here to discuss the possibilities of deep space with us. And in addition, on a daily basis, we have our salon talks where we discuss with our partners and with experts the most important topics that are raising from our projects. So, for instance, the intercultural power of game. It's one topic. Another one is, of course, the raising role of immersive spaces. That's another topic. And again, Froni mentioned it, don't miss our deep space activities. On the 6th, we have an own session, Deep Space Communities, where we show the experience from deep space from several spaces in Europe, Asia, and America. So showing how creativity and technology can connect people worldwide. In another session, Deep Sea, we show the highlights of the most a wonderful exhibition started in March in Oberhausen about the wild ocean. We show an own 3D adapted version of our artistic work there, The Wave, bringing it to deep space. And last but not least, on the 7th, sharing with our colleagues from the European Space Agency the latest results of Earth observation in an own session, Earth from Space. So thank you very much, and I overhand to Horst.
Thank you very much. Looking at the Open Futurelab activities this year. Open Futurelab is a space for exhibitions of the Ars Electronica Futurelab in collaboration with the partners of the last year. And I just want to mention two of those exhibits there. One is the Memories for Futures that we have co-created with Toyota Conic Alpha in Aso Kawachi. That is a small village in the Shinga area that is east to the main cities of Osaka. This small, we went there in this small image and did a workshop inviting participants, citizens from that village to record 3D objects with a new technology created there for 3D scanning, objects that are relevant to their lives, objects of nature, objects of culture. This city, this village is suffering as so many rural areas in the world from the typical problems, one could say. It's the de-citization, it's the aging, it's empty houses, the lack of infrastructures in culture as well as in economy. And we've created together with Toyota Conic Alpha that recordings and interviews with those citizens and created an exhibition out of that that has been shown in the village and also will be shown here at the Ars Electronica, helping to trigger inspirations and further actions in the area and maybe as well potentially in similar areas around the globe. The second one I want to mention is the Pillars of Democracy, another participatory project that we have been created together with the direction of the Austrian Parliament. The idea is to have that project on show during the national elections late September. And this project tries to foster contributions of the discourse of the people, of the voters, and present that on the pillars of the building of the parliament. Its goal is to support an emotional connection to democracy. And the project of Pillars of Democracy is a part of an awareness initiative and campaign by the parliament, by the direction of the parliament. And its prototype will be shown at the Open Futurelab. A word to the Futurelab Night as well. The Futurelab Night this year is, as every year, more or less the research report of the Futurelab in different presentations and performances. Saturday night set already. Please make sure to pre-book that event. One of the projects there, the Share Space, is a huge European project, EU project that we have been running with 14 other members, EU partners. And it's focusing on the question on how can we prepare for a future where humans and digital avatars are going to collaborate. And this infrastructure, hard and software infrastructure that is built, created within that project, is based of 3 art pieces that will be shown during the night. The Art Thinking Lounge, which is the next slide, thank you. The Art Thinking Lounge that we have co-produced together with Hakuoto, a long-term partner, working with us on this idea of art thinking. It's a very open, inclusive, participatory environment for generating visions rather than solutions. And in this launch, we invite you to join this creation of visions for our future. And it's, again, at the Post City, right across the Open Futurelab. So please find us there.
Thank you so much, Horst. I'm covered, thanks. For this spectacular insights into the Open Futurelab this year and the Art Thinking Lounge. In the direct neighborhood of the Art Thinking Lounge, you find also this year, for the very first time, the Young Artist Space, a collaboration together with Othello and Martin Hollinetz, where we actually together want to open up the festival also as an open space and an art hub for young artists and cultural practitioners who want to exchange, who want to present themselves for the very first time, and also network with the thousands of international artists coming to Ars Electronica every year. The Young Artist Space is designed as a pop-up studio featuring both an open studio as well as an open stage. We'll present there also results from the Next Generation U program of the European Capital of Culture Sites Kammergut 2024. And it is also a presentation platform for our previous Uniting Award winners, including Mary Meyerhofer, who won a Golden Nika in 2022 and is now on her way of starting her professional career as an artist. She actually started in the context of Uniting Create Your World, our own Ars Electronica initiative for young people who want to rethink also the use of digital technologies, who want to experiment also with different ways of living and working on this planet, and you can do so in numerous open labs. At the podcast lab, for example, Frischer Wind, you can try out what it is like to produce a podcast with international participants from all over Europe. From brainstorming to post-production, you have the chance to look actually behind the scenes of a podcast production machine, supported by professional equipment, but particularly also by professional know-how from FM4. The Technical Museum has or brings a fully equipment makerspace also to the Ars Electronica Festival this year, where you can 3D print, laser cut, or make your own objects, like, for example, a cover for your cell phone, or you actually make an object you can use directly in the huge chain reaction machine we are going to implement at Create Your World this year. You probably know it from this iconic social media and YouTube videos where hobbyists at home use their utilities to create these large machineries of chain reaction, and we are trying to duplicate this in a gigantic version also during the festival this year. All of the programs at Create Your World are free, and you don't need to register for any of the open labs. And finally, probably the most important tip actually for all those who are now nearly or near the desperation because of the density of the program, our tip is really to start with one of the guided tours. We don't make the choice there so easy either. We have about 20 different programs prepared for you, but you can start obviously with the spotlight tours, which bring you down either in the bunker of Post City with the SEAM exhibition, or to the topic of innovation in the first floor of Post City. For more experienced festival visitors, I would particularly recommend actually one of the guided tours with our curators. For example, the curator of the theme exhibition this year, Olga Tykonova, the curator of the Starts exhibition, Masha Zolotova, or the curator of the Prix Ars Electronica exhibition, Emiko Ogawa. Or you can actually try to get one of the much sought after guided tour slots with our head of program, Christl Baur. Special tours are of course also on the program, including a trip to the roof of Post City or the newly opened innovation space at Keba. Or you can also discuss with Christoph de Jager and our African award winners on innovation by and for Africa. We hope that this guided tour program will actually help you navigate through the festival. And with this, I hand over and navigate back to you, Gerfried.
Thank you very much. I have to admit it's almost exhausting just to listen and to look at all these wonderful programs. What Veronika has presented at the end now, I think, is really a super important part. I mean, we are not only doing a huge program, we are also really taking care that you as the visitors of our festival will have a chance to really find what you are interested in this very vast program. That such a big program is possible is, of course, just thanks to the incredible work that Veronika and her team are doing since months, but also to the incredible support that Ars Electronica has been gathering since many, many years from the very big partners. I mean, it's a festival of the city of Linz, so the main money budget comes from the city of Linz, but as you can see in this slide, and really take the time, indulge it, what kind of institutions, companies find it interesting to collaborate with Ars Electronica, to support Ars Electronica. I think this really shows again, like the program that we are presenting, this very important role of looking into the impact of digital technology into our culture, the impact, the importance of the digital culture of our time. This is something that is no longer just an issue for some experts in science or industry, but it is an integral and important part of our society. So thanks to all these partners and sponsors, thanks to the team, thanks for your attention, and I finish with my annual recommendation. Try to take a lot of sleep in the next days. Try to nurture very healthy so that you have enough energy to really make the best out of this wonderful program. Thank you very much.